Hello, everyone. Welcome to week two. Hopefully, you are getting the navigation of D2L down and you are successful in submitting your assignments the first week and you're ready to really get into what is this course about. And so let's begin by overviewing where you're going to go this week by taking a look at my screen that I am sharing here. All right, so I'm going to go straight to the content just to remind you that's where you're going to find everything you're looking for the week. And you're going to go down to week two. And you're going to see the overview of the week listed here. It's going to talk about how we're really going to dive into what rhetoric is, how it shapes our conversations, about everything, but also about our topic for our learning this semester. Below, you can see the tasks that are due by Sunday night. You're going to watch this video here. You're going to participate through a lecture and a collaborative practice on defining rhetoric, which we're looking at the rhetorical situation in that situation. And then there's a lecture about writing rhetoric, action, and deliberation that I want you to review before you end with discussion 3, where you enter into the rhetorical conversation, practicing again everything we're learning in this unit before finally your written submission of a writing genre that many of you may not be familiar with, which is the rhetorical précis. So these are the tasks that you will want to adhere to this week and make sure that you complete. And I have them listed as steps for you below just to make it a little easier to navigate. So there's 3 steps that we're doing. The first one is learning how to identify. The second one is learning how to analyze. And the third one is how to write effectively with rhetoric. So in step 1, you can see here's your lecture. And then I have the reflective activity down here for you. So if you click on this button, one of these will open, I promise you. Maybe it's, oh, I know why. I have to get out of student view. This is how you know these videos are not AI'd. Let's see. I want to not view it as a student anymore because it hasn't quite opened for you yet. As soon as I post this video, it will, which is why I couldn't access it. Okay, so we're back to step 1. The lecture is here for you. And then I have the assignment here for you as well. So you're going to go here to the rhetorical situation identification. This is where we're going to collaboratively annotate our texts. You have 2 options here. You can view the whiteboard or you can edit the whiteboard. If you just want to see what it looks like and get a kind of a sense for what it's going to be, this is your friend so that you can see what the expectation is, go through the assignments before you actually click to add to the conversation. And you can see I've reminded us of the identification pieces here that you're going to learn about in the video. And then I have the steps for the assignment listed here for you, followed by the speeches. If I click these buttons, it's going to take me to the speeches that we are going to collaboratively analyze together. At the top is a video. I highly encourage you to watch the video before you annotate and then annotate the text. Here's an example of an annotation for you. I can scroll out or scroll in on here, but this is my example of looking at specific parts of a space cat, which again, you're going to learn in the lecture, and breaking that down into what I see in even just those first words, good evening. So you're going to do it for that task, and you're also going to do it for the third speech, or the second speech, which is listed here for you. Same process. It's going to look a little messy as all 26 of us kind of get in here and annotate, but that's okay. It's about the practice of it. It's about the collaboration of having a conversation around these texts. That's what makes the magic of learning these skills. All right, so I'm going to go back then to week 2. I went through with you step 1, which is how to identify the rhetorical situation. Now we want to go a little bit further and we want to talk about analysis. And analysis is the thing that a lot of students do struggle with when it comes to rhetoric. I have a video here for you about that kind of that flow of how as a writer, we think about rhetoric and we break those pieces down. Please watch this video and take notes on it as well. And then go into the rhetorical situation, discussion number 3. I have 2 texts listed here for you. And in these 2 texts, you're going to choose one of them and you're going to annotate it, identifying space cat first. And then you're going to think about these pillars as a discussion for our text. You're analyzing how this author attends to these elements. Writing. How does the author use storytelling or analogies to make their point? Rhetoric. How does the author strategically use rhetorical tools to convince the audience of the argument? And then it continues to go down for you. Your post needs to be 150 to 200 words. You do not have to attend to every single one of these. 150 to 200 words is not a lot. So I would stick with the pieces of either Holy Tomato or Old Bay, whichever one I choose, that most are significant to me in my analysis of those texts. After you write that post of 150 to 200 words, you're going to respond to 2 classmates. Those responses should go beyond, ooh, I agree with you, but it should show some additional insight. It should push their observations in a different direction, and it should be entering into this conversation of rhetoric. So criteria for success is listed here for you. Your initial post, what it needs to include, your peer responses, what they need to include, and what the writing should look like. And I've provided a model here for you. Now you're going to notice that this is not either Diedrich or Choi. That's by design. I don't want to put an actual text in front of you. I want you to see what you can do with the text you choose. So use this as kind of a framework. And you can see I highlighted for you those pieces from those prompts above. So you can see kind of how I would word that. So that if your engagement is the thing that you see in your piece, how does Dr. Barton word that so I understand where to go with it? Again, I always like to put a full screen button. This is the same thing here. It just makes the assignment easier to read for most of us in these small windows of D2L. All right, I'm going back to week 2. So we have talked about identifying rhetoric. We have talked about analyzing rhetoric. Step 3 is then how do we begin writing rhetorically? And that's where the meat of it is. And so this is a genre of writing that many of us do not experience until we get to the college level. It's called a rhetorical précis. It is a very extremely specific type of writing. So I want you to pay attention to each of these. It is 5 sentences in length. It's not 4. It's not 6. It can never be 10. It is only 5 sentences, and each sentence is very specific on what it must include. So you're going to watch this video that I put together for you to understand the rhetorical précis. I'm also going to put some models in front of you from our bush pieces that you did in identification so that you have a connection there. I've got a graphic here that breaks down sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence 4, sentence 5, if you are a graphic person and that helps you. And then that takes you to the very last link for the week, which is writing rhetorical précis. And so this is individual. It's not going to go on a discussion board. This is going to be looked at between you and I'll provide you feedback because you're going to be writing a lot of rhetorical précis this semester. So I want to make sure you understand acutely what is expected of you. You are going to read Sotomayor's A Latina Judge's Voice. You're going to identify rhetoric. You're going to analyze her rhetoric. And then you're going to write a rhetorical précis. The link to the text is here. If you need to get back to that framework, it's here. If you want a précis guided model, I've got it here for you with George Bush and the work that we're going to do with George Bush. And I also have given you the link because yes, this needs to work cited since this is an essay you're turning in. Here's the criteria for success, 5 sentences. And here's a model for you with our Diedrich, the analyzing piece, one of the choices. It's a model of what a rhetorical précis would look like for that text. All right. That's it between you and success this week. This is really where the fun and the magic starts. It's going to feel a little muddy at first, and that's okay. Because if you notice, I don't have point values on this week's rhetorical précis and discussion, and that's because I just want you to do it. So as long as you do it, as long as you turn it in on time, the point is to get feedback from me. The point is not for me to nickel and dime how much you do. Now, I might push back your rhetorical précis and say, this is not significant, this does not follow the model. And if I do that, you have the opportunity to revise. And I really truly believe that because, as I said, you're going to be writing a lot of rhetorical précis this semester with the text that we encounter. All right, that's it for week 2. Have a great week. I'm on email. Please reach out if you have questions or concerns. I'm here for you. Let's rock it out.